All right, this might hurt some feelings, but whatever. I was just scrolling through my feed and I saw a couple of posts about how white people have no culture. And I'm just over this white guilt, white shame type stuff. I'm not advocating for white supremacy. I'm just advocating the end of white silence and the end of white guilt and the end of white shame, because our culture participated in nothing that your culture hadn't participated in previously. We didn't start slavery, but we damn sure ended it. And the only place that slavery still exists are in people of color societies in Africa and the Middle East. The Vikings figured out how to circumnavigate the globe before the Islamic world ever figured out how to get their feet wet. It wasn't us that was going into Africa and pulling the slaves out. It was other Africans grabbing them and enslaving them. We invented democracy. We invented the constitutional republic. The bubonic plague wiped out half of Europe. And what did we do? We got together and discovered Western medicine and inoculations and vaccines. I'm not saying that we're better than you, but we're damn sure not worse. There are 4 major ethnic groups in this planet. There are black people, white people, Asian people, and Hispanic people. And we are the smallest. And we are the only group that you're demanding shut up. And because we're not doing it anymore, you're just going to scream racist louder and louder and louder. And we are done caring. We are not ashamed of who we are. We are not better than you, but we're damn sure no worse. And if we're so freaking terrible, then why? Why does the entire Eastern world flock to countries that we created? Answer me that.
I don't think that he's wrong. I don't think that he's wrong in feeling a level of fatigue, and let's be honest, and I know that there's going to be people in the chat, and that's fine, because me having this conversation generates and hopefully inspires debate and critical thinking. But he's right in that the majority of white people in this country, unless you're a white apologist, is considered the enemy. There is nobody in America that is more villainized than white people, white men specifically. Heterosexual white men is the poster child for the villain in the United States of America. Now, I can't speak for any other country because I'm not a part of their culture and I haven't lived there for my whole life. But what I do know is that here in the United States of America, when you fail, you blame white people. When you go to jail, you blame white people that created the system.
So white people are tired of being villainized by black people and other racial classes. When something bad goes wrong, when things are not going well, it's usually attributed to the white man. And that is the point this man is trying to make. And that is what we're trying to do in today's video. So we'll be looking at a little views from different content creators. Credit to the original content creator. Then we'll come back to give you our own holistic analysis. The idea is not to generate insult, but the white guys are tired of having it.
The reason that non-whites love to say that white people have no culture is because of this term known as habituation. No, I'm not calling you a bitch. Habituation is when you become so accustomed to your everyday life and so accustomed to the things in your surroundings that you lose the ability to be consciously aware of it. That's because you live in a world built by the white man from his white culture. Every time you jump in your car, built by a white man, and go to your job, probably given to you by a white man, and every time you jump on your phone or your computer, built by white men, or turn your TV on, built by a white man, or when you just talk every day in the white man's language, you become habituated to white culture that's surrounding your everyday life.
White culture is superior to black culture in every single goddamn way. When you hear black people say white people don't have any culture, what they're really trying to say is black culture is superior to ours. So let me get this straight. You think mumble rap, skinny jeans, twerking, obnoxious women, friendly fire, and welfare is superior to getting educated, making breakthroughs in science, technology, and medicine, spending a lifetime mastering your craft, and then building civilizations? What the fuck is wrong with your motherfucking brains, yo?
You do realize you used a hip-hop song as the background music in your anti-black culture video, right? You fucking moron. Anyway, let me tell you something from a position of actual lived experience, because clearly you're hiding in some little white town in the middle of nowhere cowering in fear of black people. I've lived in literally the whitest major city in all of America, and I currently live in one of the blackest major cities in all of America, and the neighborhood I live in is quite literally like a 50-50 split, white and black. It would be your worst nightmare, apparently. Now that that's been established, let me say this very clearly. Black culture, so much better than white culture. It's not even fucking close. And no shade to Portland. Portland's a beautiful city, but Atlanta is just different. It feels alive. It's got vibrance. White culture is just like a fucking hospital bed flatline by comparison. It's the reason why pop culture is so dominated by black culture. It's because it's popular, hence the word pop. And here's the other thing. I have been the only white person in a room full of black people so many times in Atlanta, Georgia, and you know how many times the black people in those rooms have made me feel uncomfortable for being white? 0 fucking times. Find me a black person who's never felt threatened by a room full of white people. I'll wait. On this narrative of like, oh, white people have only created great things and black people have only destroyed them. Shut the fuck up. Holy shit. Go read a book besides Mein Kampf, you piece of shit. Anyway.
People don't have exciting culture.
White people have no culture.
White people don't have any culture.
White people have no culture.
Exactly what is white culture?
All right, white culture real quick. There can't be white culture in this country, period. There's no white culture. And I think that offends white people because we are always talking about black culture and native culture. And then we get mad. We're like, well, we're a culture. No, we're a race. We're a race that took 2 other cultures, an entire African culture and an entire native culture, and we oppressed one and we tried to eradicate the other. But throughout all of our oppression and our murder and our rape, they never died. Their culture never died. They kept their religious practice. They kept their art, their fashion, their food, their music. No matter what we tried to do to the African culture that we brought here and the native culture that we stole from, they never died. And that drives white people crazy. So now we're desperate to have our own culture because we can't keep stealing from the ones that we've oppressed.
Wow, the debate is getting heated here and it's crazy. You have some white folks saying never been a black culture. You know, there's been white culture and all the things that the white people have contributed. And there's another group of white people who are saying that they is no thing as a white culture, is just stuffs that were stolen from native indigenous people who they met on the grounds when they came to colonize America, and the African Americans that they took from Africa who they have integrated, and just the white people are just a race. And come to think about it, this is not to insult anyone. We're just doing a comprehensive analysis. I want to know what your thoughts, your opinions are. But I just generally think that it's not all completely true. I just feel that some cultures borrow things from cultures. I think every culture has borrowed something from every other culture. Every other culture, every race has been involved in slavery one way or the other, if you really do your historical findings. And it's not really completely nice that we just label one particular race as the originator and the perpetrator of certain evils. If you're coming across my YouTube channel, please, you're welcome to my YouTube channel. I'm your dear brother. Please hit that subscription button, that notification button to subscribe to our YouTube channel, so that when we bring up new updates, you'll be the first to be notified. Returning subscribers, thank you. You're the reason why we do what we want to do. But I want to know what your thoughts, your opinions are. If we want to look at a better world and want to make the world a better place, I think we need to look through the lenses of everything that every race has contributed, both the Arabs, the Asians, and the like. See you on my next video.